Gaming on the go isn't an easy feat if you're looking to fire up AAA games. That's why gaming laptops exist. From enjoying high refresh rates to maxing out the resolution settings, you're gonna need a beast of a laptop to get you to that preferred sweet spot. And today, we've got some pretty special Intel gaming laptops we'll be diving into. The HP Omen, the Asus TUF Dash F15, and the Razer Blade 15 Advanced Edition. Now we'll be taking a look at each of their performance and build, battery life, trackpad quality, and audio performance. And of course, the most important thing, the pricing to fit your wallet. Our full breakdown and review of each of these laptops can be found on IGN.com. And we'll provide you all with links in the description for anyone looking for more in-depth coverage of each. IGN's Budget to Best starts right now. This episode of Budget to Best is brought to you by Intel Gamer Days. Now let's start with the OMEN 15 from HP. Now with this, you got a 10th generation Intel Core i5 processor, a 15.6 144Hz 1080p display, an NVIDIA RTX 3060 GPU, and you can peep the specs on the screen right now. Now the HP Omen comes with a webcam as well. It's 720p, it's pretty basic, but it's still good enough for those conferences. Now this build will cost you $1,249. Now the design of the Omen is pretty simplistic as well. It's got a nice matte black finish with red accents on the keyboard. Now it's lightweight and thin, which is a very warm welcome to anyone used to those big bulky 17+ inch gaming laptops. Now the Omen also has that nice little notch on the W key for helping you find your way back home to the WASD keys. Now the trackpad here isn't the smoothest, but it's not a deal breaker. Also not a deal breaker is the sound quality. Now while they get the job done, providing with ample dynamic sound, the bass quality isn't the best. Now most of the gaming laptops that I've ever experienced in my lifetime, aren't necessarily that good. So it's similar quality. So it's nothing new in that particular department. Now jumping on over to gaming and performance, our reviewer of the HP Omen 15 was quite surprised with its performance, with benchmark results of 57 FPS in Total War 3 Kingdoms and 64 in Borderlands 3. Now those benchmarks only tell half of the story, so we also tested this little nugget of joy with Battlefield 5, maxing out the fidelity settings, which gave us an average of 105 FPS. Now the 144Hz display performs exemplary, very vibrant on this bad boy. Now we also queued up Cyberpunk 2077, which gave us an average FPS of around 40 to 50 on the Ray Tracing Ultra preset and clocked in at 30 to 40 FPS during the more graphically demanding scenes. Now while those performance numbers might be pretty decent, the battery life on the Omen 15 is far from it. Lasting about 2 hours and 17 minutes before powering down, you might find yourself scrambling around the room to find a power cord and an outlet. Now it's a solid battery life for let's say an in-flight movie, which might last about 2 hours or so at least, but you know what, not for those long gameplay sessions you might wanna pull off unplugged. The Omen does have fast charging, however, so you're able to charge the battery from 0 to 50 in just 30 minutes, but you'll have to be fully powered down to do so. Now, in the mid-range category, we have the Asus TUF Dash F15 featuring an 11th gen Intel Core i7 processor, a 15.6 240Hz 1080p display, and an NVIDIA RTX 3070 GPU. Now this build will run you about $1,699. Now the TUF Dash is designed and built tough, pun intended, giving you nice hard edges in design and durability. Now, like the Omen, this 15-inch gaming laptop is light and thin. We love to see it. Now, we got a backlit keyboard with standard key spacing along with special translucent WASD keys. Now, if you're an RGB fiend like myself, well, tough luck, my friend, because the TUF Dash F15 only has 3 animated patterns to choose from. Now, it works though, if you're gaming at night and just need the keys to be visible. Now the trackpad is fine. though it's not as smooth as others I've played around with. Now, I found my fingers kind of like, dragging at times, but it's not that big of an issue. Now, one glaringly missing thing here, I'll show y'all right now, look at that. Where's the webcam? There's no webcam here. Now, given the nature of the world today, with a lot of us working remotely and constantly on Zoom calls and Google Hangouts, it would have been nice to see that implemented in this build. I get it, it's a gaming laptop, so you might not think it matters, but it's certainly one of those just nice to haves. Now, sound quality on the TUF Dash F15 is fairly standard, nothing really special in that particular department. Now, I personally could use a bit more bass on this bad boy. Now, one other nice feature is a Thunderbolt port, which allows for speedy file transfers and charging without the included power brick, though the brick definitely charges much faster. Now, let's talk about gaming and performance. Now, the TUF Dash F15 comes in a variety of configurations, but the one we're talking about here features an RTX 3070 laptop GPU. Now, in our benchmark tests, which have all the graphics settings cranked all the way up to max, we measured 63 FPS in Total War 3 Kingdoms, 93 FPS in Hitman 3, and 50 in the super demanding Metro Exodus. Now, keep in mind, these tests are a bit more demanding than typical day-to-day use, so you can expect higher frame rates by tweaking a few settings here and there. Now, case in point, outside of our strict benchmark tests, the TUF Dash stayed well over, and I mean well over, 100 FPS in Doom Eternal. Now, as for battery life, the TUF Dash F15 is quite good, I gotta say, although there's many variables as to how much you can get in a single session. Now, when you unplug the charger, it automatically switches into silent mode, which switches you from the NVIDIA GPU to integrated graphics and turns down the screen refresh rate from 240 to 60 Hertz. Now, this dramatically increases battery life. Now, we measured 1 hour and 24 minutes in performance mode compared to 6+ in silent mode. Now, just don't expect to get much game power without plugging this bad boy in. And finally, here's the Razer Blade 15 Advanced Edition. Now, the one we got to play around with will cost you $3,099, giving you an 11th gen Intel Core i7 processor, a 15.6 360Hz 1080p display, and an NVIDIA RTX 3080 GPU. Now, the Razer Blade 15's no-frills look and design belies the power it hides underneath the hood. Now, the matte black aluminum chassis makes you think there isn't much going on, and I like that. I like that a lot. It's very deceptive. The RGB looks gorgeous on this build, not to mention just how light the entire thing is. Now, that's pretty much been the running theme for all these gaming laptops we've covered today, which is very, very nice. Also nice here is the trackpad. Very responsive and smooth. No issues with running my fingers across or performing gestures. The built-in speakers you're provided with on the Razer Blade feature THX spatial audio and 7.1 surround sound support. Now, the speakers are surprisingly loud on this one. For most content, you'll likely be using the Razer Blade 4. The dynamic range of the speakers should be fitting enough. Just don't go in expecting much bass. Now, I really want us to dive into the gaming and performance aspect of the Razer Blade 15 Advanced Edition. Now, the best way to describe it right off the bat is this thing is a beast. Now, we've got 8 cores and 16 threads of processing power in the Intel Core i7. And if your focus is on in-game frame rates, which I'm pretty sure it is, then the 5.1 gigahertz boost clock is perfect. Couple that with the 3080 mobile graphics card, you've got quite a powerhouse in the Razer Blade 15. And the refresh rate, oh boy, that refresh rate, 360 Hz on this 15.6-inch display is well on up there with comparable gaming monitors. Now, in our benchmark tests, we measured 88 frames per second in Borderlands 3, 135 in Hitman 3, and 63 in Metro Exodus. Now, check the full results on screen right now. Now, some really impressive numbers considering how thin and light this little beast is. Now, beyond the benchmarks, we wanted to take advantage of the 360 Hz display with some fast-paced shooters. And boy, Were we not disappointed? Not even a little bit. In Rainbow Six Siege, we averaged close to 200 frames per second on Ultra, with Doom Eternal clocking in at around 160. Now, one major thing I noticed while gaming was that there weren't a lot of vents on the laptop, and that's because Razer uses a vapor cooling solution to properly isolate thermal flow through the unit. It's really cool when you think about it. Ha, I said cool because it's cool. Y'all get it? Yeah, you get it. Now, battery life on this one it's pretty decent, clocking in at roughly 5 hours and 52 minutes with Optimus enabled and the screen and backlighting at about 50% brightness each. Now, overall, I gotta say, the Razer Blade 15 Advanced Edition is a great choice on the more expensive side of gaming laptops. The HP Omen, the Asus TUF Dash F15, and the Razer Blade 15 Advanced Edition. Now, which do you think is right for your needs? Now, of course, these are just the specs that we went with for each, but each of these laptops are available in multiple configurations that will set you back at different price points depending on the components and internals you decide to choose. For me, the Razer Blade 15 Advanced Edition would be my go-to personally, and I'm not returning it. Don't tell IGN that. But you know what? You're also paying a premium for everything you're getting with this particular one. Now, each of these gaming laptops are great choices, however, especially if you're looking for an RTX 30 series graphics card fitted with an Intel Core processor. A shout out to Intel Gamer Days for sponsoring the video. From August 27th through September 5th, Intel Gamer Days Festival 2021 brings all the top names in elite PC gaming together in one place for the premier shopping opportunity of the year. GamerDays.Intel.com serves as the hub for all the best savings of the year on elite Intel-based desktop PCs and laptop gaming systems and components. I'm Akeem Lawanson, and we'll see you in the next episode of IGN's Budget to Best.